Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Welcome to this week's Top Stock Picks. I'm Tracey Ryniec, and I'm joined at the chairs by Sheraz, Mian. And we don't just have two stocks this week, we have an extra bonus mystery stock. We're going to talk about a couple retailers, and then we're going to have the mystery stock. So stay tuned. Okay, so Sheraz, we brought a couple retailers.
Sure.
I'm going to talk about mine first because it's the better of the two, I like to say. Ulta Beauty, Ulta is the ticker.
Yes.
I do own it in my own personal portfolio, and the people that follow me on Twitter know. I usually listen in on the conference calls, which I did on this one. They just reported, and it was the holiday quarter, as all these retailers are reporting, and it was phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people thought it might be good because they got a couple new products in, including the Kylie Jenner lip line.
Okay.
The stock did surge last year when they announced they were getting that product in, and some people kind of like, haha, who cares, it's just one product, but it was a big driver in the quarter. And interestingly, it was a thing that brought people into the stores.
Sure.
So their same store sales actually took a big jump, which you don't see. Everybody's saying, oh, the brick and mortar is dead. But in beauty, you do want to try it on. And a lot of consumers went into the stores to check out that line because it was only available online prior to that. So here's a chance to try it out.
Sure.
It's sold out. They were out of product for the last 2 weeks of the quarter, but they've learned some lessons from that. And they're expanding it into eyeshadows and various other products going forward. Now, maybe some of that excitement was gone now because it's already out and, you know, moving on to the next big thing. But all of their segments seem to do really well in the quarter. And it's been a long time since I heard them say everything was working, even hair care. And things like the mass market cosmetics, normally they just kind of go, oh, mass market, which is the drugstore brands. It's not where the money is. It's always been prestige is what's really driving it. But this quarter, mass market was the best performer, which again is a little strange, but good for them that they're getting that much mileage out of the drugstore brands. And a lot of the drugstore brands, which is like the Maybellines and the CoverGirls, they've been transforming their businesses too. They were kind of got lackadaisical over the years, and they've come out with a lot of new products now too. So maybe that's bringing some of the shoppers into the stores. They got that great loyalty program, which is better than any of the drugstore loyalty programs. Although I did see that Walgreens now has a special beauty loyalty that if you spend $50 in their beauty department, you now get $5 bonus.
Okay.
So they're trying to make me want to go there to get the bonus. But Ulta's loyalty program is just so good. And then they've made a few changes to that recently where now the points you accumulate, you can use in the store, at the salon, for instance, which is a big deal too. I no longer just have to buy products with it. I can go get my hair cut now. And then that's another reason to remain more loyal. So things are looking pretty good for them. I do feel like maybe they're reaching some kind of peak in the United States. They're only a U.S. retailer. They've kind of slowed the number of stores that they're opening now. They're focusing on remodels and like what's working at the stores. One of the analysts did ask whether or not they're going to try to go international because that would be the next big thing for them. Yeah. And they were like, well, we're not going to announce anything here. Of course, they've thought about it. I'm sure they've studied where they could possibly go. But for right now, it looks like they're still focusing only on the U.S., which is, I feel, good from the shareholders' perspective because that is what's working, and there is a lot of competition internationally for what their product is. But for now, beauty has found some new niches here. Women are still spending, and they do have men's products too. A lot of people think that they don't, but they do. So yes, everything is working for them. It's not cheap anymore, 26 times earnings. It is a Zacks number 3 right now, but they just reported, so we'll see if we get some changes on those earnings estimates. But earnings expected to be up about 17% this year, sales up 12%. Really doesn't get much better, for a retailer here than what Ulta is doing.
So my retailer doesn't really have any exclusive kind of makeup item or has even those kind of growth attributes. Dollar General is my retailer. They reported last week too. the numbers weren't as good as Ulta's. They beat on the top line, but on the bottom, they missed modestly. And then the guidance for the full year was a shade on the lighter side, too. But I like the report's internals. And what I mean by the internals is they are continuing to invest in their stores, in their technology, and in their offering and merchandising. And I think retailers that are investing in their business, like them and like Walmart and some of the others, they should be more reassuring to investors, particularly those who have a longer holding horizon. So Dollar General, the stock was down on the earnings announcement, as would be expected, but it has come back some. I think for folks who have a 12 to 18-month holding horizon, this is an impressive operator in this lower end of the retail space. They're grabbing share from the drugstores and the mass grocery operators. For Dollar General, about 3/4 of sales come from this broader consumables type of products, and the rest from non-consumables. It also offers a bit of a defensive kind of attribute should the economy take a turn down, because this segment of the consumer end, relatively, particularly these operators, they continue to do a lot better than the mainstream discounters.
Are they somewhat recession-proof then? Would you call them that?
I would say a recession-proof, but like in 2008, 2009, 2010, they do better than a Target or a Walmart. And they do tend to grab share from the CVS's and the Walgreens and all those other kind of. Over the long run, they have been grabbing share too. And then during the downturn, they get this incremental pickup from those segments of consumers that trade down a little bit. So it gives them relatively more security than the standard issue retailer. So not recession-proof, but a lot more defensive.
And there's Zacks number 3 as well.
There's Zacks ranked number 3 as well, yeah. So, and I'm not expecting estimates to be going up. I would expect the number 3 rank to remain in place. But I like the space. I like Dollar General, particularly for folks who have a longer holding horizon. I think they can't go wrong with it.
Okay, now let's talk about our mystery stock. It is a Zacks rank number 1.
That's right.
But it's Boeing.
That's right.
And we've gotten some questions in, why is this a Zacks rank number 1? You know, that's the strong buy.
Yeah.
What's going on with Boeing?
So a lot of the issues swirling around the company right now are more kind of in the headline risk category. There is some legitimate concerns, as we were discussing offline, that if there are some serious design manufacturing issues that get into the legal liability end of it. But as of now, the consensus view appears to be that with this 737, which brings in about 35–40% of its revenues and cash flows, and accounts for the bulk of its pipeline of backlog for the next 4 or 5 years. By the way, it's about 4,000 or 5,000 plans are scheduled. And if you look at the clients who have ordered those planes, that's like a United Nations General Assembly. It's like every country and their airline. Obviously dominated by like the Southwest and the Chinese airlines and stuff like that. So it's right now, analysts are not cutting their estimates.
Right.
They don't know what's the full extent of the issue. They see the reputational damage. They see the headline risk that's a part of the ongoing issue. But if we do get into something that's more serious that may prompt analysts to cut estimates. But right now, they're looking at the business outlook, which has never been better than what it is.
Right.
Their manufacturing capacity is practically booked for the next 5 years. And the issue with Boeing, other than the trade overhang, which was the big deal with them for the past couple of years, has been how many of these 737 MAXs they could produce in a month. And they were producing 52. They had been guiding towards 57. And that was the big question mark.
Okay.
Can they produce more of these?
Yeah.
And apparently, they have removed some of those kinks from the operations. It's not like these airlines would just cancel the orders. It's not like they could go to Airbus to order 4,000 planes or even 400 planes.
Right, there's only so many airline manufacturers.
That's right. And it's a global duopoly. And as I mentioned in the context of Dollar General, I think those holders or even folks who are interested in Boeing as a quality long-term holding, if you have a longer than 12, 18 months horizon, then I think you should be able to ride out this thing. The long-term outlook for this company remains extremely good, as it is for Airbus. This narrative of growing commercial air traffic, both in the developed markets as well as in the emerging markets, that's a totally legit thesis. There is secular growth on that side. That's practically a multi-year phenomenon. And Boeing and Airbus and some of these smaller other players, the Brazilian, the Canadian operators, they stand to benefit from it. So if you are a short-term trader who's looking for opportunity, there's probably more downside risk in Boeing shares. The stock is down today as well.
Right.
But if you are a long-term investor, this is a good quality stock. You could buy it. Perhaps it could get a little more cheaper than it is here, but in the long run, it'll be a lot higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good analysis. We'll be watching it, and I'm sure we'll be having it on this show again.
Sure.
Okay, so those are some of our top stock picks for this week, a couple retailers, and then discussion about Boeing. But there's a lot going on. You don't want to miss a single one of our episodes. Be sure to tune in again next week where we will have some more top stocks.